first step to learning the cube is to understand how it works. So let's take this apart and have a look. This is an edge. This is a corner. This is the center. It has 6 pieces attached to it. These are all center caps. As you can see, white will always be opposite of yellow. Red will always be opposite of orange. Blue will always be opposite of green. What this implies is that this white can never be here. And this green can never be here. Because this is an edge and this is a corner. So this piece will always have white, green and red on it. Now let me switch to my other cube. For solving the cube, there are 4 steps. You have the cross, the first 2 layers, then orient the last layer, and then permutate the last layer. But before I go into those 4 steps, I want to teach you 2 fundamental concepts for solving the cube. So number 1 are triggers, and number 2 are algorithms. Triggers are a short set of moves, and algorithms usually contain them. So this is a trigger. I'm going to teach this today. So 4 short moves, and if I just repeat those over and over, the cube will go back to normal. And this is an algorithm. So, and then the trigger. So what an algorithm does is it moves around a few pieces on the cube without disturbing the rest. So that's useful for the last layer, where you don't want to disturb the rest of the cube. So the trigger I want to teach you today goes like this. So if you do it on the right side, you start by turning your right hand like this, and then going right up, right down, then back. Okay, so turn around, right up, over, right down, back. And if it's on the left side, do it the same. Turn your left hand like this, over, back, over, back. So let's start with the first step, the cross. So we usually do the cross on the white side, and when it's done, it should look something like this. And as you can see, it's paired up with the edge colors. So making the cross is both the easiest step and the hardest, because it's mostly just intuitive and no like algorithms and such. So it can be a bit hard for beginners if you're not used to how the cube moves. But let me show you. So the first thing you need to do is put yellow on the top, and then around the yellow center make a daisy. So like this, with the white edges around. And yeah, let me show you some techniques here. So if you, for example, have a white on the bottom that needs to go up, this can be anywhere on the bottom, just put it below where it needs to go. So it needs to go here. Put it below there, and then just turn this side up. Okay. And if it's like on the side here, so it can be anywhere on the side and any direction. Just place the slot here and then turn it up. Or if it was this way, just turn it so it's here, and then turn it up. Okay, and then the final, maybe hardest case is if the edge is either on the top or the bottom, but it's flipped wrong. So if you were to put it up, it wouldn't be, the white wouldn't be facing up. So in either these cases, you just have to turn this side 90 degrees, so this comes to the side. Then you can just do it like you did before by matching it up and turning it up here. So it would look like this, just okay. And if it were on the bottom like this, just turn it either way like this or like this, and then it on the side, and then you just do the side case. Okay, now that you have your daisy, so if you just ignore the corners, you don't need to look at them right now. You now match the edge piece with the center piece by moving the top side. So like here, this is matched with green. Then you flip this 180 degrees to the bottom. Now we continue with, for example, red here. Just flip the red side to the bottom. And here's blue. There's matched. And turn it 180 degrees. And then this orange. And now if we ignore the corners, we have a white cross that's matching all the centers. So the next step after making the cross is making what's called the first two layers. So you build these two layers up. But we first make the first layer. So it's gonna look something like this. So the whole white side is complete and all these match. So let me show you how to do it. Okay, first you look on the top side and see if there are any corners that has white on it. So this is yellow. Here is a corner with white. Okay, now you look on the side color, that's red, and you match that with the center. Now you see, is it to the right or to the left of the center? Here it's to the right. So now you do the right trigger, which I showed you earlier. So that puts it down. Now go to the top again and continue. So this is yellow. Here's white. So it's already matched. It's to the left. So left trigger. Here's another white. Match it up. It's to the left. So left trigger. Last one. To the left. So left trigger. Now the white side is complete. However, there are a few weird cases that I will need to show you. For example, here there are no white corners on the top, but it's not complete yet. This needs to be twisted. Now you just take a random one of these and insert it down. So for example this one, let's say it's to the right here, right trigger. This will put it to the top and you can now insert it back. But as you can see here, This is another weird case. If the white is facing upwards, because now you can't match it. Like, that's to the left, but that's not right. So what you do now is you put it over the slot you need it in, so here, and then you do the right trigger 3 times. Like that. So over to the second part of first 2 layers. Now we have to make the second layer. So you start by again looking at the top for any edges that do not have yellow on it. So this is yellow here. This does not have yellow on it, so it means it has to go down here. So you again match it to its center, and you see it has to go to the right. So then you first move it away from where it has to go, so this way. And since it had to go to the right, you do the right trigger. Now you see that the corner is up in the upper layer, so now you have to put it back again. So match it up and do the left trigger here. This solves both. So now you continue. Here is edge. It has to go to the left. So move it away, do the left trigger, and now place the corner back. So like that. Continue with this one. Here it has to go to the right. So move it away and back. And here we encounter a weird case where there are no edges left which can be inserted here, but this is wrong. So now we do as we did before with the corners by just inserting a random one of these. So for example this one. So move it away, right, and then insert. Now this is on the top, so it has to go to the right, so away, right trigger, then here left trigger. And one last thing that can happen is there are no edges left here, but it's not correct here because these are flipped, for example. So now you just do the same thing by inserting a random one, and that puts this up here. And now we can insert it again here, and now this here. And that completes the first 2 layers. Now over to the third step, orienting the last layer. What this means is to make the whole side yellow, but these still need to be moved around. So let's have a look. So the first step is to make a yellow cross. Here you can see, if we ignore the corners, we have a line. So we can cycle through first a dot, then a hook, then a line, and lastly the cross. So this requires an algorithm, which I'm going to show you now. So yeah, turn the front side clockwise and do the right trigger, then the front back again. So if we have a dot, the rotation doesn't matter because it's just a dot, so do it. Now we have a hook, and the hook should point to the top left corner, and then do it. This will make a line, and the line should be horizontal. And this will finally make the cross if we ignore the corners. So a few maybe weird cases are, for example, this one. If we ignore the corners, it is still a line. And this one is also a bit weird because it's hard to see, but if we still ignore the corners, it's just a hook. So point it to the top left and do the algorithm. Now we have a line. Now we have the cross. So now over to the second step of orienting the last layer. So I'm gonna teach you a new algorithm now, and it goes like this. So we can imagine it like this. First, the three first moves of the trigger I taught you. So, but instead of going back, we go this way, then up again, and 2 times to match here, and then back down. So again, and again, over, up, double, back. Okay, so after we get the yellow cross, we have to cycle through a few cases until we get what we call a fish. So it should have like 1 dot and kind of look like a fish. So when we get the fish, point its head to the bottom left, and then do the algorithm. This should solve it. Or if you have the fish and you do the algorithm, and then you get another fish, just do it again, and that will solve it. So to get to the fish, you have to do the algorithm and cycle through these other cases until you get to the fish. And the general rule of thumb here is just to point these pointer bits to the left. So for example, these, just point them to the left, then do the algorithm, and then do these pointer bits to the left. And now you have the fish. And let me show you some other examples here. Just point this to the left, then do it. Here you have it back to the same case again, and then this, and then the fish. So now over to the last step, which is permutating the last layer. And this just means moving the pieces around until the cube is solved. So first we have to see, are the corners solved? No, they are not, because that would look like this, where all the colors match. And then the last step is just cycling the edges around until it's solved. So let me show you how. First, if the corners are not solved, we do step 1. So first look for any headlights. That just means 2 corners with the same color, that's like pointing out. So these are headlights, these are not, these are not, these are not. So take these and now put them in the back, and then do this algorithm. So down, 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 back twice, up, up, down, back twice, right twice. Now, if there are no headlights, like in this case, just put any side to the back and then do the algorithm. Down, 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 back twice, up, up, down, back twice, right twice. And now you will get a headlight, so just ignoring the edges here. This is a headlight. So put it to the back, do the algorithm, down, 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 back twice, up, up, down, back twice, right twice. And that solves the corners. Editing as like here. So there is another version of this algorithm that I usually teach people. So I thought I might just show it here too. So put the headlights to the left this time, and then start with the left. So take it up, then hide this to the back, then do the right side, so up, and hide it to the back. Then take this back again, then finish by doing this and back. Then you have the fish, so just do the fish. And that should do the same. Now for the last step for solving the cube, which is just cycling these edges around. So if you have a bar like this, just put it to the back. And if not, like in this case, just put any side to the back and then do the algorithm. So it goes like this. It sort of cycles between the right and the top, and start with the double and then continue with over, up, over, and then cycle backwards by going down, back, down, back, down, and then match this here and then down. So now I have a bar and I put it to the back, and then I do the algorithm again. And that will either solve the cube or you just have to do the algorithm again. So now you know how to solve the cube.